seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, don't make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, full of points of God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist, man, check the wrist, man. Got him hot, ayy. Man, can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards. You just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ayy, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ayy, she want it like me.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills. With that, let's get up to Buffalo. Standing by at New Era Field, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, playoff fever has come to upstate New York, and there's a look at New Era Field in Orchard Park. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. This one fielded at the 5. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the first Wyoming quarterback to go in the first round, standing 6'5". It's Josh Allen. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I got him. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
Now the first carry for Derrick Henry. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Derrick Henry. And he works free. That one good for 33 and a first.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the 2nd level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 right at the 20. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And on this offensive unit, one guy that's proven himself early in the NFL is Eric Ebron.
A very reliable target for a quarterback. They always love tight ends because they're right in their sight lines. If you get it to this guy, though, he can take it the distance.
To throw again on second down. Allen, Whitney merciless. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Allen now looks to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. The sack there by J.J. Watt. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will be from 56 yards out. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. And now out comes Houston. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield.
Check 50, check 50.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And he'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. 3rd and 2, Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Off of play action, it's Watson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have back on their heels.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Muhammad Wilkerson able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Eric Berry, the safety, comes flying in for the sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll run with Henry. Room to run past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. No score after one on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a third down and less than a yard. Allen going to try and throw on third down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Whitney, merciless, picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check 37. Check 37. Show it up. Show it up. Put it on. Watch the whip.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
Back to throw, Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Now on 2nd and 13. Watson. It's complete. Stills. A huge play there for Houston. 47 yards. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Toss play, Kamara. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes were being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
Mike, 49. Hey, pick your game up. Say it. Rush in. Check three.
On 2nd down. It's Hines. And again, this Buffalo defense there in run support to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And it won't count for 6. He's brought down, but inside the 5. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal.
You got tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Check.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Watson now to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard. Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis? Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So it's on to halftime of this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with... And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter. I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the 1st half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about,
change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a toss play, it's Hines. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson going deep for Hopkins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Offside defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Again, it's Yeldon. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Whitney merciless, able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Taken in at the 22. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and we'll still get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now Watson rolling to his left. Going, and that's caught inside the 30. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Shift. Jim, alert.
Now a first down carry by Jones. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Let's go.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on its toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. Back now in Buffalo. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Watch QB's up. Switch. He's got people alive.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans push further out in front.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And several days ago, you and I talked with a couple of guys in the meetings about how big is home field advantage? And they kind of downplayed it a bit, but I think we're seeing here today, building up this lead, looks like they're going to win. Why home field advantage in the divisional round so important?
Yeah, they may have downplayed it, but we could also sense that it was important to them because nothing has to change. You don't have to uproot anything. Sometimes when you're going on the road, you may have to even leave early in order to get acclimated.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I remember throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
Allen hit. He lost the football.
Sack, baby.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. but the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson, and he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Jerry Hughes. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for?
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins there to make the grab. And the Texans push further out in front. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, it's Allen, and he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Whitney merciless. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Allen, and he hits his tight end, Ebron. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line.
Josh Dotson. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Josh Dotson, 77 yards. And the Bills cut into that lead. When you're trailing in the 4th quarter, you got to take some chances you might not normally take, and here, that one pays off big time.
And you have to think to yourself, not only did that pay off big time for them, but what was going on the opposite side of the ball? They know that they have to take a chance here. They know they have to come up with something big, yet it still happens. So credit the execution, but wonder what the defense was doing.
They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, it would likely put an end to this thing. They run again with Hines. 27 yards there, a first down. I'm assuming they're keeping this football on the ground, right?
I would think so, because you're looking at the clock. That's in your favor. You're looking at the geography of the field, right? Where you are, that's in your favor as well. Keep it on the ground. Keep pounding. Run that clock down. You got everything working.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Alvin Kamara taking it in. And the Texans push further out in front.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people
under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing on second and long. Allen. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time it yields a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters. And this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. And an alley to run.
Come on, fellas.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. He'll buy some time right. He finds Hopkins complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Alvin Kamara. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front. Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, wow, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they've made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go. And that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
And it seems like they've been running uphill all game. It only took them 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles.
And he's going to go down again. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Throwing on 3rd and long. Allen, and that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. $51 yards on the punt there. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Flush to his right. Going deep for Hopkins. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship, and do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Buffalo.